bought my first home, was my parents' home. I grew up in Washington, D.C., and I bought the home for $75,000. And about, let me see, that was like 86. I would say probably 20 years later, I sold it for 385. And I just, I've grown from there. I've always focused mainly on buy and hold because I didn't understand about generational wealth. I mean, that's a phrase that just started a few years ago. I know, other people have probably heard that phrase, but I never heard of it. I came in to real estate, like I said, purchasing my first home for my parents, and I just continued to buy. I would make goals for myself and say every 5 years I'd buy me another home. And it was fun because I lived in the home I bought from my parents for about 4 years, and then I had the opportunity to buy a 4 unit. So now, not only did I have the experience of purchasing, residential, but now, in a short period of time, I learned about commercial. I learned about Section 8. I mean, it's been, once people start, they'll find that it's so many opportunities. It's so much to learn, and it's not hard. And you get the idea of it in a short period of time. All you gotta do is participate and just put, just grind, grind and learn everything you can. I'm not a tech savvy person. I'm not, I didn't grow up with computers. I still to this day write things down. I've taken a lot of notes from you, Dr. Lina. So many things that you have said that, I took note from, and, I try to apply it. But, like I said, when I started, I didn't know the first thing about building my business. I didn't even look at it as a business. I looked at it as I'm buying real estate. That's what it was. I was buying real estate. But like I said, every time I bought something, I would try to put myself in a position to learn. And so I bought multifamily units. I just created a website, and pretty much I put, I had my own, how do I say this? I had my own ideas of what I wanted for my website to be. And I didn't want it to be a typical website. And again, not that I know a lot about these things. I'm not a tech person. But I know what I like. And I'm very stringent on, especially when I spend my money, I'm very stringent on, getting what I want. And that's something that I think, we all need to do. Don't settle. Don't let people tell you what they're going to do. When you're paying for something, you have to be demanding. You have to let them know, hey, this is my business. It's just like my child. I have 4 daughters, and my thing is, I don't cut corners. I don't mind paying if I feel like I'm getting what I'm paying for. But these are the things I've learned along the way. And the other thing is, even to this day, I'm very passionate about investing, especially real estate. And like I said, I give it 150%. I try to learn something every day. I don't settle, but I'm very strong about satisfying people. I think that's the thing for me. I've always wanted to make sure people were happy with whatever I'm doing, any service that I give them. But like I said, I try to be progressive. Even like I said, I'm getting older, so I'm not, young and, like I want to do this and that. I want to do it all. I mean, and even at my age, I started during COVID. I've learned so much. I never invested in the stock market. I started during COVID and done very well with the stock market. I look at it every day. I'm participating in that. But the short-term rentals, I started, oh boy, I think 2018, yeah. And I bought my first property. And I've always been the type of person that I had to see what I'm buying, But my daughter started college at University of Maryland this year. And she was interested in looking at all these different colleges, all over the place. So I said, you know what? You seem like you're focusing on the East Coast, which where we live. And so I said, I'm just going to buy properties up and down the East Coast. Because if you decide to go to school in, say, Virginia, North Carolina, so I'm going to have something so you can, maybe stay there instead of having to stay in a dorm. And so I started buying property in Virginia. I bought a couple properties in North Carolina. I'm buying land in North Carolina. I want to get into developing. And in South Carolina, I bought the first vacation rental, short term, in Myrtle Beach. It's an oceanfront property. And when I bought it before I even saw it. And when I went down to look at it, I was so amazed. And I said, how could I own something like this, And everybody's booking it. They love it. I always try to maintain my properties because that's important. I want people to feel like they're getting a wonderful vacation, but they're getting their money's worth. And, they can have something, that they can always look back at and say, well, I stayed at that place. And I get a lot of repeat customers. So that's been very rewarding. And I, just started buying properties like that. Florida, Savannah, Georgia. And I even got into, I've always been into commercial. I bought a warehouse in North Carolina. Didn't know the first thing about it, but it's been rented ever since I bought it. I thought, okay, one day I'll move down to North Carolina and I'll start an e-commerce business. And it's about 12,000 square feet with office space, maybe another 2,000. So, but it's doing well. I thank the Lord. He's really, really made me aware of what's important. Mm-hmm. I use this saying, the true value of money isn't what it can buy you, mm-hmm. but the opportunities that it can provide you, the vast opportunities that it could provide you, and the doors that it can open. Because, see, too many times we take our money, we just blow it. We want to buy something. We want to feel like that's how we're successful. If we can buy a new car, mm-hmm. If we can buy
instant gratification, right?
Yeah. If we can buy the finest clothes, we think we've accomplished something. But meanwhile, other people, and I'm not, a racial person, but other people, they've taken their money and they made it work for them. And that's why, that's part of the reason why we're so far behind. I mean, I don't want to get into politics. There's so many other things that has put us behind the eight ball. But, sometimes, we have to take responsibility and stop thinking that somebody's going to give us something. But we have to take responsibility for our own selves. And, if we could take our money and make it work for us, you'd be amazed how far we could go.
You are very right, Mr. Gregory. I know you have.
I'm sorry, I've been rambling on. I'm sorry.
No, you are not.
If somebody has any questions, please ask me. I've been trying this thing about starting my TikTok, and I've done still pictures, and I've even did a video, and I find it's the hardest thing to be able to talk to a machine. I do much better when I have person-to-person communication. So if somebody has any questions, please, I'll be honored to answer any questions.
So, Mr. Gregory, whenever you're live or whatever, just let me know, and we'll be there. I'll be there to come, and for you in terms of video, just take whatever. Just start it, and somebody was
I'm
just
I'm
start
trying.
it.
I don't have anybody to show me how to. Sometimes I tried, like this evening. I tried. I thought I was doing it, but then I went back and it didn't record. So I'm like, well, what am I doing wrong? But I'm going to keep at it because I know what I have to say
Yeah.
can help a lot of people.
Just take your phone. And what I'll just typically do, just take your phone, record yourself. I will tell you to use CapCut, right? Hey, Stephanie, and every other person that's here. Thank you. So I would typically do CapCut as an app and just put it there and just edit it and throw it. But otherwise, just do it on TikTok. Directly do the video right there, and boom,
Okay.
and get it done. It doesn't have to be long. Make it very short, 30 seconds initially until you get a hang of it. But we are all rooting
Okay.
for you. Got this, okay?
Oh,
M
it's
Cup,
such an honor.
welcome.
It's such an honor.
Yeah, thank you for letting me come up. I only came up because Gregory asked for questions. I think that's a very how do you go? It's a great way of making content by having people ask you questions, and then it develops into ideas that gives you an idea of what people want to hear out there, and you can grow from that. So my question for you, maybe in this instance, as a new immigrant from Africa, no money, wanting to be financially independent in country of all these opportunities, how would I best go about it? I'm CNA. I don't want to wipe bottoms for more than I can, and my back is killing me. So how do I go about it? Yeah.
Well, hey, first of all, much respect to you, my brother. I think again, just try to learn as much as you can. I started off going to the library. I remember renting like 13 books one day and just taking them home and just diving and trying to get as much knowledge as I can. I don't think that we should always rely on somebody telling us when we can learn for ourselves. I mean, it's a great thing to have people that have knowledge like Dr. Lena, they can share that knowledge and help because it moves things along much faster. But sometimes, you also wanna learn on your own, just so you can kind of mix what other people have to say and say, are they giving me good advice? Are they giving me good information? Just something to gauge by. But yeah, take your time, set yourself up. It should be, I use the word mission. We should all have a mission in life. If you want to get into whatever kind of real estate, if you want to be an investor, if you just want to buy, a residential home for you and your family to live in, learn as much as you can. But if you get into the business, I found that since I've been on TikTok, that the best thing you could do is take your time and set your business up the right way before you jump in and invest in something you don't know nothing about. When you have the wherewithal and the knowledge, then knowledge is power, and with that you can accomplish so many things. But just for the sake of sparing your finances, don't just jump in. Know what you're getting yourself into. It can be very rewarding, but you could lose a lot if you don't know what you're doing. And that's why, like I said, Dr. Lena and people like her, myself, hopefully I can get myself together and get on this platform. I'm looking so forward to helping each and every one out as much as I can. I look forward to the questions, and I'll answer them the best way I can, as honestly as I can. But again, I use my experience as my tool to teach, because through my experience, I've gained so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Please follow me. I hope you know how to follow. And that way I'm able to be, anytime you go live, it an alert. Doctor, please follow me too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you just go ahead, Gregory.
Let me tell everybody, I just created a website, and I'm very proud of it, and I want you guys to check it out, and give me some feedback. I love constructive criticism, whether it's good or bad. It teaches me, it helps me along the way. So my website is B as in boy, G as in girl.
Do you want to type it and put it? Can you type it and just put it in there, and like we can pin it and you?
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
Just type it in there, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. And NCOP, that was an amazing question, right? The other thing that I just wanted to, I think Mr. Gregory, it was an excellent response. The other thing is that your income is very, very critical in this whole conversation, because you have to figure out how to, have that income, right? How to increase your income. That would definitely make the journey faster, right? And how do you do that? Two things that I always talk about is, it could be you don't have to go back to college to take another degree. No, some certifications that are free on Coursera, on Harvard Business School. You can do it, some trainings, and boom, you're able to increase your income right there. Or you can also have additional side hustles that you can have, so that you can, because you need that income first. That's going to be your foundation, to start building wealth. All right.
And the thing too is, when you're getting started and you learn as much as you can, then you have to understand what it is exactly you want to do. And that moves things faster, because if you know that you don't want to be an investor, you just want to buy your first property and have a home, and which is great. I mean, because, in these days and times, if you buy a home and you hold on to it long enough, eventually you're going to be a millionaire. It's going to grow in value, especially the way things are now. When I first started buying property, it took so long for it to really manifest into something, say, wow, look at how much equity I have. And equity is a very important thing. As time went on, I saw the value of the property growing more and more. Property. As an investor, it's a wonderful thing. You take that equity out, you can buy out of your pocket. You taking the equity out, and so it helps you multiply that, invested into the real estate game, and to be wealthy. That's something to think about. I moved out of my first home, and I said, 4-unit apartment building. That was my second property. I bought it February property, which is a 4-unit, and I was just amazed how easy it became. And the thing that I want to explain to people is, stop letting yourself allow yourself to be fearful. Just you'll see it's not as hard as it seems to be, and as hard as we make it to be. Have confidence in yourself, and just go for it. The thing is, a lot of times people allow the bank to take the property, but if you see that you're not doing right and it's not working for you, and it's not for everybody, but if you see it's not working for you, then sell the property. Don't let the bank take it. You can sell it and before the bank gets involved, and you still save your credit. So, I don't know why it seems like people freeze up and say, well, I'm not doing it. It's not working for me. I'm going to go ahead and let the bank have it. No.
I'm looking to buy I'm wanting to buy my first property. I recently I just stumbled into somebody's office and they put my credit, it's around 750. So the property which I think I can afford is like 1 hour from the city. It's rural, just maybe plain land. And my idea is to maybe put up something, maybe have some goats that will bring in some income.
Yes.
And maybe set up an adult family home that will create revenue for the mortgage and stuff like that. And
Sure.
like when you start out, like you say, it seems daunting. It seems like a huge task. There's so many hoops to jump over. I don't know whether there are any words from the both of you that
Can I ask you some questions?
Yeah, please.
So where's the property that you're looking at?
I'm in Washington State.
Washington State.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it land or is it?
Yeah, just plain land.
Okay.
Plain land. I saw it was valued for around 100,000. Yeah, I think 20 acres or so.
Okay. So let me tell you, first of all, I think you're on the right path. That's a wonderful thing. We have to go back to our ancestry, and they had a vision, and I don't know if they maybe didn't understand how important that's the big thing nowadays. Everybody's looking at land because they're not land. And the good thing about land, you can buy land and hold it and take your time and build what you want to build on it as your money comes in, and you can decide. And if it's enough land, the first thing I would tell you is get a surveyor, get the people from the town, whether it's a county or city, and have them come out and tell you the zoning process of what you can build on it. These are very important things. And then once you know what you could build on it, then you want to get an architect, and they can draw up plans. And once you get the plans, that's when you go to the bank and you show the bank your plans and have an idea of the cost involved, so the bank can determine if they could give you the loan for that. So yeah, like I said, there's got to be a mission in everything we do. There's got to be some kind of plan and some process involved, so that we don't make mistakes. The fewer mistakes you make, the more confident you become. And you don't have that mindset of, oh, I'm doing this wrong. Maybe I should back out. I tell you, when you give up on your dream, you're giving up on yourself. And we should never. We're proud people, and this in the right way, because believe me, the Lord, every step of the way.
Thank you so much for that. The other thing you talked about was business structure. So I had, when I first came to the country, I set up an LLC out in Delaware. After, reading a bit and being a good doctor here, I learned maybe a C-Corp might be the best way to go. So I'm looking to that LLC into a C-Corp out in Delaware and have that C-Corp own LLCs that I set up here in Washington.
Yes, that's a good plan. Like I said, when I came along, I didn't know anything about C Corps and LLCs and any of that. I just knew that I wanted to buy property. And when I bought the first one, I said, wow, this is fun. And so then I started buying more and more and more. So I live in Maryland now. I grew up in Washington, D.C., and I have 3 properties in Maryland. And I've done assisted living. I've done assisted living for 20 years. I ended up buying 2 facilities. I had 2 8-bed facilities. I did assisted living for 20 years. I've had my own trucking company, bought my tractor, and got on with a company, became a contractor, and I had my own driver, and and just built it from there. I did that for like 6 years. I've never been afraid of investing and trying to find different avenues to the one thing the Lord blessed me with is the ability to just take chances.
Is there a blueprint, like a business plan or something you could
Please
share
follow
with
me. Yeah, please follow me because, like I said, check my website out.
Yeah.
I really hope everybody could check my website out.
Yeah,
And see.
Mr. Gregory, can you put it on the? Can you type it in and just send it as a
Yeah, I
message?
did. I typed it in. I'll type it in again, but I typed it in already.
If you spell it out, I'll type it in.
It's B as in boy, it's G as in girl, then it's a dash, then it's V as in Victor, and G as in girl.com. Now, BGVG is for my 4 daughters.
Okay, so MCOP, are you typing that in?
Yes. Yeah, I've put it up. Do you see it?
No. Does anybody say it? I do not.
I think when you put com.com, the website.
Yeah, can you put it without the .com? Can you just put it without the .com? Yeah.
Okay,
I hope, yeah, I don't see it as well. So great. This is amazing. I think we should do more of this, right? We should do more of this where people come up and, Mr. Grace, okay, I see that, bg.vg, okay?
No, it's not dot, it's dash. It's like a minus sign, like a dash.
Yes, it's right there. I can see it right now. Why is it not? But you guys can see it.
I like this, and when I start my chat, I want to invite you.
Yes, absolutely. I'll be there.
Doctor, I speak of you all the time.
Yes.
I do. I really do. You're a wonderful person. I can't say that enough.
Oh, you are.
I'm looking forward to coming into your class this week, and I know you have a lot of wonderful things to share with us. And again, I just always have a pencil and a paper. Anytime I listen to you, that I know you're going to share some nuggets that is going to give me some insight, some knowledge, and I want to write it down so I can always go back and refer to it. And that's very important. I hope that people just don't come on just to listen. This is a learning opportunity. Just like when we were in school, how you took good notes so you could pass your test? Well, that's the same thing that Dr. Lina is giving us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gregory. And so guys, look at him, follow him. He talked about trucking, he talked about he talked about assisted living, he talked about multi-unit, all of those kind of things. I look at the website as well, right? It's pretty knowledgeable. We'll figure the social media aspect out very soon. It will start coming live. I'll let everyone know as well. Yes.
Yeah, I went to college at North Carolina Central. I don't know if we have any Eagles in the house, but I'm a very proud Eagle. I went there and I studied hard. I finished in 4 years. I came back home to DC, and that's when I got started. And it's just been a beautiful life.
That's amazing.
I love the idea of sharing it with people, and like I said, anybody else has any questions, Dr. Lina, I don't want to take over your class.
We'll be wrapping up right now very soon. Okay. Because I just wanted to come here a little bit tonight, because tomorrow is the Smart Investing Workshop. Yes. So just to sleep early and ahead of but this is absolutely beautiful. And MCOP, I think you also have developer also had something to say when he talked about putting animals on the land. So definitely you get some tax advantages from that.
Yes. Absolutely.
And then he also mentioned you can get construction loan, then convert it to mortgage after you have completed. So there is construction loan as well. And Delaware registration, on Nevada. Go ahead.
Are you buying the land or do you already own it?
I don't even have. I think what I have is 3% for down payment.
Okay.
But I don't know how to go about buying it. I'm totally green. I've just been doing CNA work. Yeah.
Well, if you're sure, you want to buy the land, there's a lot of things you need to learn about raw land because it has to perk in order to build on it. If it doesn't perk, then they have to do certain things to make it perk because you can't put a structure on land that doesn't perk. It has to be strong enough to withhold the structure. But to put animals on it, I mean that's a great thing. And yeah, I mean I think it could work, but just try to learn as much as you can. Don't just jump in, because at some point you may want to build something on it, and if you don't really check it out before you buy the land, and then you say later I want to build something on it, and you find you can't, then it could be a problem. So just like I said, talk to a surveyor, talk to the county inspectors, find out the zoning process and what you can build on it and go from there because
Thank you very much.
And all the permits, all of those kind of things. But ultimately you need a lot of education about it, especially if this is your first and all of that. Because it's a bit different from single family or multi, it's just like you becoming a developer, buying land. It's something that's also different.
Being a developer is more of an advanced idea of getting involved with real estate. Generally, I would guide you to buy a property, like a home, and I always tell people, start off small, because you have to remember you're learning. You don't know the whole process of it. Even when it comes to buying a home, take your time. But buy something that you can afford and learn. Use it as a learning process because you can always sell it and take that property and move up to something nicer. But the whole idea is to get started. We waste a lot of time by saying we're going to do something, and if we wait it's too late, and then you have all these regrets. And I don't want anybody to have regrets. I want you to accomplish the things that you want for your life and for your family. And just remember, it's not about us all the time. We have to think about our children. And we don't want to fail our children. And sometimes we find that children are, in a situation they're in because we're not providing the things that, as parents, that we need to provide for them to make them feel stable and safe. And so, therefore, they go out and they act out and do things that they shouldn't do. But it's really our responsibility to give them the nurturing and the stability and feel like, okay, my parents have, provided for me. And, that's something children will grow up always remembering is how they were raised and the things their parents provided for them. So that's something that is very important and it's rewarding. It's something that you can be proud of yourself and say, you know what, I did something. Just like when you buy your first property, you say, I'm the first one in the family that bought a property.
You're correct. You are right, Mr. Gregory. Okay, Mr. Raymond, you are absolutely spot on. Mr. Raymond said, "How do you withdraw money on Robinhood? It's just just the same way you buy it, sell it right there, right on the platform, and you have an account where you connect to it to fund the account, right? And then you just do the same process, the process of you putting money into the account." And buying the asset or the investment, then when you want to sell, all you have to do is just the same one click, right? And once you click on it, it sells. But within the trading window, then you have the money. Then that money, once it's in your account, in the Robinhood account, you that account that you used in funding it, your bank account that you had connected, you connect it right back. I mean, you send it right back to your account. So it's
Yeah.
that easy. Just this,
It's just like withdrawing from your bank account. Once you sell however many stocks you want to sell, they show you how much money you now have available, and you can use that money to reinvest in another stock, or you can take that money and say, I want to transfer it back to my bank account that you have on file, and they'll put it back into your account.
okay, does that answer your question? Great, Mr. Gregory. Thank you so much for that. I thought it was no, it wasn't. It's not. It's yeah. So far, is the starting point that might be like when you are doing all of those connection, right? Connecting your bank and funding it. After once you connect it one time, at the beginning, right? When you're funding it,
Right.
it's just the same. Is that easy? It's very very easy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is easy. But have you registered for the smart investing workshop for tomorrow? If you haven't, go ahead and register. These are all the things that hopefully, as the system permits, that we are working over the weekend, trading over the weekend. So that's part of the things that we're going to be showing you tomorrow. So for all those people that haven't, I think we just extend. Right now we had 81 people registered. So it was supposed to be 80, but I think we're just opening another few spots left, additional spots. So nestyou.me on my bio right there. Click on it, and then you will get to open anyway. It's free. Registration is just required, and you can have it right there. Smart Investing Workshop. Click on it. It's free, and you can buy your access so that you can be able to.
I received the email
Okay.
stating that I'm invited. So exactly what time is the class going to start?
It's
And
12
how long?
Central Time. 12 Central Time. That would be 1 p.m. your time. Your
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah.
And it's how long is the class?
Well, ideally the class should be about 2 hours, but when people are asking
Okay.
questions,
Sure.
when people are
Sure.
asking questions, and I give everyone opportunity, and since it's in hands-on execution, people might like, okay, I'm having this problem or this is a life hands-on workshop, so it might extend, but we try to cover the teaching, then get to a certain point and just end it, and we can continue with the question and answer, provide help as needed.
Sure. Now, I want to admonish to everyone the importance of creating a trust. That might be the more important thing to focus on than starting an LLC or corporation, and then because once you start acquiring properties and things of that nature, you now have a foundation that you can put those things in. So
Let me get that right. You're saying instead of converting my LLC into C Corp, I try and convert it to a trust, or just start a trust altogether?
They're two different things.
A trust is totally different. A trust is more advanced than a will, but a trust is basically all your assets that you've acquired over the years. It doesn't have to be real estate. It could be your bank accounts. It could be your automobile. It could be a variety of different assets, but the trust is what holds everything. Now, your C Corp, once you get a C Corp, the C Corp is a holding company. It doesn't do anything other than hold things. But you can put your C Corp into your trust. These are all different layers that protect your assets from anybody trying to, take anything away from you through lawsuits and things of that nature. So a trust is very important. because you don't want to acquire and get all these things that that will put you in a position of financial stability, and then have somebody just take it away from you.
Yeah.
But that's very important.
Gregory, I encourage you to maybe share a time when you feel you might go live. And this is doctors' platform, but that's very interesting. And
Yeah.
if you have a time, you could go live and you could come back and maybe understand that whole thing about trust.
Absolutely. I look forward to doing that. And again, I'm not very good with tech and computers and things like that, but from I already have it started, and you can go on my live, and you can see certain things I've already done, but I'm trying to teach myself as I go along, and I'm not doing such a great job, but I'm going to get there. Believe me. Once I get there, then
And
we
Mr.
have
Gregory is always, sorry to
so-
cut you. Mr. Gregory is always, I mean, he's here. We were just lucky to be able to bring him up today because something has been going on with his account for some time where you are unable to bring him up. So definitely he'll be back again once his life is up. I mean, it's fully going live. Definitely, I would even be there. So we will all be there. So it's not something that you're going to miss. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I just want to tell everybody, you keep mentioning that I retired at 52. Yes, I retired. My father passed away in 2010, and I had, I already had enough time. I did 30 years with Washington Gas as a utility company. So I did my 30 years. I probably would have continued on, but once he passed away, I just didn't feel like I wanted to do that any longer. Just out of respect for him, I wanted to just focus on, my loss, and so it's been a journey, but yeah, so I retired at 52 after 30 years of working for the company, and I just like I said, I've always had the mindset of trying new things, and so that gave me the opportunity. So I just want to tell everybody, if I can do it, you all can do it. And if you give me the opportunity, I can show you how to do it. So again, Dr. Lena, I'm sorry, I didn't want to take up all your time, but
No, that's
thank
fine.
you.
That's fine.
Thank
Yeah,
you
we'll be
again.
rounding up the. This is good
Yeah.
stuff, right? Good. This is definitely good stuff. We would always have this opportunity. That's why, I could go longer and longer for the day, because of this workshop that we have tomorrow, so that we can all get rested tonight. But we definitely can do this, tomorrow again, maybe on Sunday and all of that, and spend all those time because definitely, part of what I talk about, which is the old well building academy in June, it's part of the financial planning part, which is the financial, the trust, all those emergency funds, probate, and all of those kind of things, which is
Right,
actually
right.
very, very important. So very, very key. So yeah,
Absolutely.
but great,
That's
great,
that's
so great.
that's another reason to get the trust, because
Yeah,
you don't want your family to have to go through a probate.
yeah,
A probate is a very ugly thing, and
yeah,
what ends up
exactly.
happening is your loved ones will get probably 1/3 of what you plan on to have, because the probate takes them through so many situations with lawyers and everything getting involved. You end up losing
Yeah.
most of everything you have. But Dr. Lena, I'm so proud of you. It's just amazing, to come into your life, and to hear the things. I mean, I remember you saying that you lost $100,000,
Oh
but
yes.
that's the thing that should be um, encouraging for people, because if you could lose, and believe me, a lot of millionaires have lost, and but they didn't give up, and they bounced back, and they became millionaires and billionaires. So it can be done. Like I said, the key is never to give up on yourself. Always believe. No matter how bad things get, don't give up.
Thank you so much for that. Well said. Well said. Yay, Mr. Gregory.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so
Okay.
much. And see, look at Mr. Gregory right there, full of knowledge. So remember to follow him. And of course, once it's live, we'll all be there. Raymond Pastor say Robin Hood nice app is real, asset real. What's that? Can I still use it? Nice. I'm not sure what you mean. Can you clarify, or do you want to quickly come up? We're wrapping up the live right now, but if you want, you can press the plus